All right, so today's lesson is dividing polynomials. So our essential question is, and I haven't been highlighting them, I don't know why, how do I use long division to divide polynomials?
Right, and you all ask us pretty much a lot, how or who uses this? Well, if you're going to be an electrician, you may use it to divide polynomials in order to find the voltage in an electrical system. So long division scares you, and we don't want it to scare you. So let's go through this arithmetic long division without even talking about polynomials here.
Okay.
Let's just talk about some terms right now.
Okay.
A divisor. So the divisor is the number outside of the division sign.
Got it.
The quotient is the number on top.
Or your answer.
Your answer. And your dividend is what's underneath.
Got it.
The division line. And your remainder is what's left over. So that's really all they're doing in this example is they're saying, okay, 12 is my divisor. So they ask the question, how many times will 12 go into 27? And that's where the 2 is. See the 2 there? Then they take 2 times 12, which is 24. And then you're always subtracting. And we're going to go through steps in a minute, which is 3. Then you bring down the 7. And now, how many times will 12 go into 37?
3
times. Then 3 times 12 is 36.
Subtract.
And that's our remainder because 12 will not go into 1. So
our answer would be 12. The remainder.
No, the answer would be 23.
Oh, sorry.
Remember?
Yeah. Oh, boy. I'm telling you, this break is killing me. 23 with 1, the remainder.
Right.
Over the divisor, which is 12.
Right. So
which we'll talk about here in a minute.
In a minute, we're going to have you write it. So I'm not going to go over this one.
No.
So polynomial long division is a method for dividing polynomials by another polynomial of lower degree. And like I said, it's very similar to regular long division. Here are the steps that we're going to follow today. You're going to write the dividend in standard form.
And that's key. You have to make sure it's in standard form.
Including terms with coefficient of 0. And we'll go over that later. Then you're going to write division in the same way as you would when dividing regular numbers. And then you're going to divide. So what I'm going to have Miss Boyd write right now is how we want the answer. So it should be quotient plus remainder all over divisor. That's it.
Okay, so on these we have a plus after our
Always.
answer.
And if the remainder's negative, you'd write plus, and then a negative. I just want them to always know to write a plus so they're not questioning themselves.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to the next page and see what we have going on here. I think we probably have an example 1. So recall we have a dividend. So the dividend is the negative y squared plus 2y cubed plus 25. And we have the divisor. The dividend goes under the division sign, but we have to put it in standard form.
Okay, so let's do that first. So I'm going to do cubed is the biggest exponent.
Yep.
So 2y cubed, and then I have minus y squared.
Correct.
Now for division, I have to keep placeholders.
Right.
So I don't have any y to the 1, so we just have to write plus 0y.
Yes.
And then plus 25.
Good.
Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite that. Now all of that's going to go, you said, under the division symbol.
Correct, because that's the dividend.
Okay. I put the division bar around that.
And y minus 3 is the divisor, and that goes on the outside.
Okay.
So the question we have to ask is, first of all, our focus is the y right now. And we want to ask ourselves, what do you have to multiply y by to get 2y cubed? So in a sense, we're dividing. We're saying, what's 2y cubed divided by y?
Right.
You can ask it either way, whichever you're most comfortable with.
Okay.
So to get that, I need to multiply y by 2y squared when you put it right on top. Right. So that's the dividing step. After you do that, now you have to multiply. So we have to take 2y squared times y, which will be 2y cubed.
Right.
And we have to take 2y squared times negative 3, which is negative 6y squared.
And I'm lining that up right underneath the other y squared term.
Correct. Now the step we draw a line under that. Correct, because now we're gonna talk about these steps in a minute. We're gonna subtract.
Okay.
So that's a minus, and then that minus 6y becomes a
Plus.
right.
So maybe I would think about it as parentheses.
Yep.
And I would have to distribute that in. So
Right.
now it's going to be minus.
Right.
Plus.
And then.
And now we're really changing to adding.
Yeah.
Really.
Correct.
So I'm just going to kind of scribble that out.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So now what we do is we're now going to add.
Yep. So cancels.
Yep.
Negative y squared
Mhm.
plus 6y squared is
5y squared.
Okay.
Correct. Now we bring down the next term.
Okay. So that's the 0y.
Yep. So we do a plus 0y. And now we start the process all over again, going back to that y
Okay.
that Miss Edwards put a box around. So what do we multiply y by to get to 5y squared?
Well, we need a positive 5.
Yep.
And we need another y.
Correct. Now we multiply.
Okay. 5y times y is 5y squared.
Yes.
And I have to take 5y
Times negative 3, which is negative 15y. Do you need to scroll down for you?
I got
You got it? Okay. So now we're going to get into the habit of, instead of the parenthesis, they're going to get in the habit of, I call it like changing the sign.
Okay,
in a sense.
perfect.
So you're going to go minus
Minus.
and plus.
Because it's a minus already.
Yep,
Okay.
correct. And
Okay.
so the first one's going to cancel.
Yep.
And the second one's going to be 15y.
Right.
Bring down the next term, or the last
Okay.
term, which is a plus 25. And we're going to start the process all over.
All right. So I take my y in my
Yep.
box.
Mhm.
What do I have to multiply y by to get 15y?
Yes.
And I just need the 15.
Yep. You got it. And now we multiply.
15 times y is 15y.
Yep.
15 times negative 3 is negative
45.
45.
Correct.
Now I'm subtracting.
Yep.
So subtracting and subtracting a
Yep.
negative is positive.
Yep.
Now I combine and I have
70.
cancel.
That cancels. Yep.
70.
And that is our remainder.
Okay. So
We
now,
have to write our final answer.
all right. So I'm going to write it over here.
So remember, it's the quotient, which is,
Oh, do you want to start with the remainder? I think you like to do that, if I remember correctly. Can you kind of
no,
work
that's on
backwards?
synthetic,
Okay.
not on long
Okay.
division. So I always start with the quotient, which
Okay.
is what's on top.
Yep. So right here.
Yep.
The answer we got up top.
Right, that's the quotient.
Okay, so
So
2y,
2y squared plus 5y plus 15 plus the remainder, which
Which
is
is
70. And the remainder is the only thing over the divisor.
which is y minus 3.
Yes. That is the answer.
Okay.
Example. Recall, I just got to take a quick peek here. We probably should do one more.
Okay, let's.
I really think we should. And it doesn't matter to me which one. How about, you want to just do,
Sure, let's do this one because we've got all of our terms
oh,
already in order.
oh, let's do it. Okay.
So we have 3x plus 1
That is the divisor.
divided by
15x squared
squared
plus 8x.
plus 8x
minus 12.
minus 12. We've got our x squared, we've got our x, we've got our
That is the dividend.
perfect.
So now we ask our
Alright,
question.
What do we multiply
Circle the
3x?
3x, would you please? That's our focal point.
Okay, what do we multiply 3x by to get 15x squared? 5x.
Now we multiply.
Multiply 5x, we should get 15x
We
squared.
better.
Yeah,
Notice, that's
otherwise we
always
did it
going to
wrong.
happen. But students now forget to take 5x times 1. You have to take 5x times the whole binomial.
So we get plus 5x, but now we're subtracting everything.
And change
So that's
sign,
gonna
change sign.
So that cancels,
Yep.
and we're left with
3x.
Bring down the last term, and we get minus 12.
And notice we didn't need a zero coefficient term.
No,
because-
we had all of our
right.
terms in order. Good.
So now what do you multiply 3x by to get to 3x?
Just 1.
That's easy. And now we multiply.
So we have 3x, and 1 times 1
Is 1. Change
but
the
we're
sign,
subtracting, so we're going to change our signs.
change our sign.
Those cancel. We're
And that's
left with
negative 13. And notice if they forget, think about it. You have to take 3x minus 3x in order to cancel them.
cancel them,
So
yeah.
that's why you know you're subtracting.
So we take our answer,
Which is
5x
our
plus
quotient
1,
plus
our remainder,
negative 13
negative 13
over our divisor.
over 3x plus 1.
That one was pretty easy.
Yeah.
I wanted to scare them a little with the hard one, and then we do it
And
easy.
go
ones,
easy.
yeah.
Good. All
Okay,
right.
example
We'll save the
3,
last one
we
for
are
last.
doing in class for sure.
Sounds good.
And notice what we have here. Divide using long division. You guys can do this.
Mhm.
There's multiple choice answers. Try it. Now, notice my number 2.
I am just going to say, quick notice though, we've got an x cubed,
Ooh.
x squared. You're going to have to put in just a 0x.
Yep.
And then 7.
Yep,
Okay.
correct. Good job, Miss Boyd. That's right. Rate how difficult this lesson was for you on a fist to 5 scale. 5 down to 1. Remember, a 5 means you understand the lesson very, very well. All the way down to a 1, which means you did not understand the lesson.
But that's okay. We're going to practice
Right.
fast.
Please be honest, and you have a great rest of your day.
See ya.